My Denver Metro fam, what's good? What's good? Before we start this video of gratitude and Thanksgiving, I want to pause for a moment. This video is definitely giving thanks to those in Denver, but I have to start by thanking God for bringing me this far, for bringing me to Denver, for blessing me in Denver, and now carrying me back to the East Coast for new beginnings. I also have to thank and love and show some gratitude and appreciation for my beloved children and my grandson, for my son who, when I was diagnosed, he was away at college, so dealing with that. And then my daughter, who's an educator, left the classroom and began working for Dr. Rosemary Allen with a flexible schedule so that she could take care of me and be my caregiver. So before I get into all of the other thanks, I had to stop and say thank you to God first and foremost, my children, and my Dink, my grandson Ethan, who is my angel on earth. I know it sounds like I'm accepting an award or something, but I did receive an award of your love and support in Denver. So here's my video of thanks. Hey fam. So it's been almost a month since I've been here on the East Coast, and I had to pause and take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you to my Denver Metro community. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for creating space to grow and to learn and to heal and to love and to share and to experience so much. I am going to try to get through this video, trying to acknowledge as many people as I can. I know I shouldn't name names. That's one of the first things I learned in seminary. Don't name names, but it's so hard to go on this or travel through this 9-year journey without naming names. So just ride with me for a moment as just imagine this montage of experiences happening during my 9 years in Denver. I arrived in Denver in January of 2011. In October of 2010, my name was recommended for the first full-time youth and young adult pastor at Shorter Community AME Church by LaShawn Tarkington. Thank you, LaShawn. And then Dr. Tyler met with me. I was in Atlanta at the time as a resident chaplain at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. And Dr. Timothy Tyler met with me and did an informal interview. And I guess I said and did all the right things because he flew me out to Denver during Young Empowered Servants Weekend. I taught a young adult Bible study. And then I preached on that Sunday and was offered the job immediately. So I relocated from Atlanta to Denver, and the learning opportunities there, I can't even begin to name them. The young people, the young adults, the children were so loving and so gracious. The ministry leaders and the adults and the families were just so warm and accepting. The lessons that I've learned, I will carry them with me forever. I met one of my dearest friends, Rochelle, and served and worked with her during my time at Shorter Community AME Church. And being a Black woman in leadership in the AME Church in Denver, Colorado, in the congregational or clergy setting is challenging. And I am grateful that with those challenges, I was met with a great level of support, including Big T and Pastor Holmes, who invited me to preach at the Women at the Cross, 7 Last Words of Christ on Good Friday. I think it was 2012, I believe. And I preached a sermon. It was a Marvin Gaye song, Makes Me Want to Holler. And then since then, I was preaching at the 7 Last Words, Women at the Cross, for a couple of years until my diagnosis in November of 2016. Prior to that, I felt myself growing and my wings just birthing and wanting to fly and experience new things and different things. So I ended up leaving Shorter Community AME Church, and I joined Impact Empowerment Group, where I learned what it was to be on the front lines, to do gang intervention and prevention. Growing up in Harlem, in Wagner Projects, I wasn't necessarily in a gang, but definitely friends with those who were about that life, and that it was just around me all the time. And so it was a divine opportunity for me to take my experience and then meet the young people where they were and journey with them and offering them a life that is worth living, a life that is worthy, a life that does not have to involve gang banging. So I'm grateful to Impact Empowerment Group. I was the only woman on the team, and I was surrounded by beautiful Black men that were in it. I met Philip Douglass with Macam during that time, such an inspiration to me. I led and partnered with other clergy in the Park Hill area when we did prayer walks. And one prayer walk, we actually, there was a shooting like right up the block before we were beginning the prayer walk. And guess what? We still got together, still did the prayer walk. So I'm so grateful for Haroon Cowens and Ian Cummins and Ruth Woodliff Stanley and others who walked the streets, and we talked to neighbors, and we just prayed on blocks where young people were killed or where gun violence happened, and we would pause and pray these universal prayers, because we had Christians, we had Muslim, we had spiritual folk, we had non-denominational folk, we had folk that just wanted to be in community and make change. So I'm so grateful to them for that. And then after that, Reverend Dawn and I preached for the Unitarian Universalists at their Standing on the Side of Love at the Capitol, where all the congregations in that general area come together. And we preached, and we were on to something about preaching God's word, being Black women, Black women who are womanist, Black women who are clergy, and being able to address anti-Black racism that was rampantly happening and continues to happen, not only in Denver, but as you can see across our nation and even across the globe. So we birthed Soul to Soul Sisters, November 16th of 2015. And we were rocking and rolling, doing our thing, growing. We started off making like 4 figures. And then we just grew, knew our worth, knew that it was going to take time to build our brand and equity and build relationships, forget all the technical terms, but to build relationships and have white folk come into our space where we offered a space to learn a language to fight racism, whether it was in their homes or in a boardroom or in their churches or in their communities. So Reverend Dawn and I birthed Soul to Soul Sisters together. And right in the midst of us doing great things and expanding our pillars of focus, whether it's racial justice, reproductive justice, reparations, self-care and Black love and self-care for Black women and the Black community in general, I was diagnosed in November of 2016. And I must say that Denver was a healing space for me. I believe I was sent to Denver for several reasons, including having an opportunity for my son Eric to attend Colorado Academy and then receive a full scholarship to go to Dickinson College. All of those things happened in divine order. And so when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I do not ascribe to the theology that God gave me cancer in order for me to do X, Y, and Z. I just think our God is much bigger than that. And I believe that in the midst of being diagnosed with cancer, that God gave me the strength and the opportunity to learn to live with cancer and to live knowing that I am diagnosed with cancer, but it does not have me. It does not have my mind, my body, my soul. And I was not able to get to that point without my community, without my sisters like Reverend Dr. Regina Groff and Dr. Rosemary Allen and Reverend Dr. Dawn Riley Duval and people across the country. But I'm talking about people in Denver specifically, those other breast cancer survivors, the Stomp Out Breast Cancer Foundation, Marilyn Lee, who was so supportive, came to the hospital whenever I needed her, or Tracy Drayton and others who were just so loving to me. The Breast Cancer Awareness Ministry at Shorter Community AME Church has always been loving and supportive. The ministerial staff at Shorter, always loving and supportive, from Reverend Dr. Carolyn Smith to Reverend Michael Gallant and everyone in between, just sending me texts or cards or checking in on me, like my brother Alvin Dooley. So I'm so grateful for the 9 years that I spent in Denver and the relationships that were given to me. I did not create those spaces. I did not create those relationships. I was able to reconcile some stuff within me and begin to come into myself and to find my voice. And then all of those things were attracted to me and ended up building such a beautiful community. I even remember when I was first diagnosed and a bunch of brothers came to my home and we cried together and we prayed together and we burned sage together and we shared stories together. And I will forever hold that near and dear in my heart. I committed never to mention names in that sacred space because that's just how sacred that space was for us. They know who they are. They know what they have done for me and for my family. And I am so, so grateful. So with that, on my 9-year journey in Denver, it was just time. It was just time to make a change. And when God says move, it's time to move. So I was grateful that I didn't have to leave under some angry pretense, or I was running from something, or was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Although there is a lot of work to be done in Denver, I have not been on the front lines for quite some time because of my diagnosis, because I am immune compromised, because of the countless surgeries that I had and challenging experiences in the hospital and week-long hospital stays and treatment every 3 weeks. So I really had to learn how to take care of me and put me first and reserve my energy for my healing first, and then continue to do the work and to do the work in a different way, because everyone is assigned to do a piece of this justice work. Some of us are on the front lines. Some of us are behind the scenes. Some of us are in courthouses. Some of us are in the legislature. Some of us are politicians. Some of us are teachers. Some of us are preachers. Some of us are doctors, lawyers. Some of us are volunteers. Some of us are youth leaders. Some of us are nonprofit leaders. Whatever it is, we have an assignment to do. And my assignment was up in Denver, and now being on the East Coast, my assignment to take care of myself still continues. My assignment to complete this PhD continues. So I had to make a video because so many people came through for the drive-through celebration. Thank you, Dr. Rose, for putting that together. I wish I could name everybody, because each one of you have played an amazing role in my world. And I am because you are, and I am forever, forever grateful. Grateful for agency, grateful for voice, grateful for Celie's new song with Reverend Dr. Valerie Jackson, Reverend Lynn Miller Jackson, Reverend Nancy Rosas, Reverend Ann Dunlap, Reverend Ja Rain, Reverend Dr. Naomi Harris. I mean, that group just gave me an opportunity to find my prophetic, authentic, unapologetic preaching voice. So that was another group of people that I I received an invitation into the group, and I just accepted, because when Valerie Jackson asks you to do something, you just do it. That's just how, righteous she is and how amazing and beautiful she is. So I'm so grateful that I responded to the call. I am so grateful to the Interfaith Alliance and Reverend Amanda Henderson, who is a dear friend of mine, for creating a space for me to be on the board, to speak diversity, to speak racial justice, to do the human resources work that I love to do. I am so grateful to IRI with Reverend Dr. with Dr. Rosemary Allen, who again created space for me to do what I do what I love. I love strategizing. I love organizing. I love doing human resources. I love doing racial justice work. That's just what I do. That's who I be. So I enjoy that. I enjoy Stomp Out Breast Cancer, centering Black women who are often marginalized or silenced or ignored in this healing process of healing from the various forms of breast cancer. So different things keep popping in my mind, because 11 years is a long time. And 9 years is a long time. Came in 2011. 9 years is a very long time. And it was a time of growth. It was a time of some growing pains. It was a time of losses and gains, acquired friendships, lost some friends. And with all of that, I am grateful. I am grateful for the seeds of love that continue to be planted. Grateful for community that got me through last year with my tuition for school. So I am now a PhD candidate, if you have not heard. So I thank you to community for making that happen. We will be doing another ask coming up, because now that I'm at candidacy, my whole year is only $10,000. I say only $10,000 because I believe, as they used to say in the AME world, it's in the house. It's here. It's here. I know it's here. And I know that I will be able to get through this program without any financial challenges. So with that, beloved, I love you. And I thank you. I thank you for loving on me and my family. I thank you for receiving us. I thank you for sending us off with so much love and grace and beauty and well wishes. And I pray that each of you will be blessed tenfold for all that you have done for me and my family. And I'm grateful for this platform. I'm grateful for social media, where I can still keep in touch with everyone and just continue to grow and build community virtually and eventually physically again, but right now virtually. So thank you. I love you from the bottom of my heart. And I am so grateful, Denver, for all that you have done for me. And I pray that I have done even a small part, a small piece of what you have done for me. You are good to me, really good to me. And now I carry that goodness with me over here in the East Coast. I love you. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for receiving this video as my form of thanks. and I will send out some individual thanks later as well. But this is a general thanks to all of my people in the Denver metro area and beyond who loved us beyond measure. God bless you.